wet mud and dried mud and dust and things like that the next day.
You,
Where was it? Oh yeah, now I have to do this all the way to his knees.
you let your oil base coat, I read some stuff that you wrote some years ago, you let your oil base coat dry and then you come back.
I do.
How long do you let your oil base coat cure before you come back for your, whichever you decide to start with, your highlights or your shadow colors?
Actually, that's not a real simple answer. Okay, first the simple answer, at least a day. Sometimes a day is too quick. So, like when I painted the face with oil paint already, and I put a base color of oil paint, flesh-colored oil paint first, and I let it alone for a day. When I came back the next day, I had difficulty starting with the beard, like a grayish flesh color for his whiskers. And by difficulty, I mean my grayish skin color was actually mixing with my base flesh color, and that's not good. So I just had to stop, put that away, go to figure number 2 or something like that. I usually work on 2 or 3 figures at a time. And so the longer you can stand leaving it alone, usually 4 or 5 days when you start. Now here's the complex part, but it's the fun part. As you begin building up dry oil paint on the surface, then you come back and you put some more oil paint on the surface. The new paint dries quicker. The drying time is quicker than it was in the beginning.
Because it leaches thinner into the rest of it and it dissipates faster?
I don't know. Actually, I believe what it is, if you had a microscope or something like that, and you looked at a painted surface, you could see that as it dries, it becomes porous. It's kind of like this cloth or this paper, and so the oil from the new paint is drawn into the yesterday's paint, and as you build up later. Okay, all the way to the knees. You just don't believe me until I paint the knees. The other thing I do with oil paint is the following day, I mean, maybe this is a little sick, but the following day, as this paint is sitting there curing overnight, the next day when I come to it, depending on how, it's not perfectly even because I didn't airbrush it on there. You can take a clean, dry brush and just sweep it, and you get this wonderful velvety color texture. If you do that the following day, like the colors that you feathered the day before, come back the next day, and because it has had time to bond, you get the feathering gets more subtle, and it does start to look like that when you do it right.
Do you always use pointed tip brushes or use flat ones too?
I use flat brushes if I'm. I use them for feathering. But the area has to be large enough. Like if it's a large figure and he's wearing a greatcoat or a Roman robe or something like that, then I can use a flat to feather
Now you
with.
gotta use a pointed brush.
Yeah, you should.
So on the
That I do.
face.
I also
you
have-
went feather on the face.
Yeah, I use a pointed brush on the face. And I like to use a sable brush or something that's very close to it. And sometimes I'll use a cheaper brush just for feathering. If it has soft hairs, Sabeline or something like that. And it can look like a round tip brush. I also was able to buy, Vallejo makes a brush called the dry brush. And it is a round tip brush, and it has more brush hairs in there, and it's for dry brushing. It's very strong. And boy, it just makes a great brush for feathering. So, but for the face, generally, I'll use a pointed brush.
Did you have to order the Vallejo brush online or something, or does somebody carry all their stuff?
What's